Ann Coulter is with us, and she is the author of the new book, Mugged, which really deals with the race card and the muggings that have gone on on the American people for quite some time. Ann, first of all, let's get this out of the way. You called Mitt Romney, one of the first people to call Mitt Romney, and you were absolutely right. It was a bloodbath last night.
Yes, it was. And as I said earlier this week to you, I thought just letting people get a look at him, what you and I have seen in him, he's smart, he's prepared, he's poised. Recently, C-SPAN was replaying Reagan's old debates, and I watched Reagan's with Mondale in 1984. Romney was way better than Reagan was. I loved Ronald Reagan. I loved his ideas. Romney was unbelievably great last night.
My feeling, Ann, help me out on this, because I just said that I think if my memory serves me, he was better than Ronald Reagan, and I can't think of anybody in the last 50 years that has been this good at a debate.
Yeah, no, I am so happy he is our nominee. I think it really shifted last night. I mean, I've always thought that Romney was going to win, even when the polls were depressing many of our compatriots. And a big part of that was the debates, just to let people see him. And I think a lot of it is people are just shocked to actually see Mitt Romney not only utterly in control of the facts and competent, and you so want that man in the White House, the way he explains things with facts and figures, but not in a confusing way. And he just comes across as an incredibly decent man. There's no elitism. There's no, he reminds me of my first husband business. He was charming. He was friendly. Even when he was criticizing Obama policies, he always did it with a smile on his face. And it reminds me of during the primaries when I was a big Romney supporter and many of my friends and colleagues were not. And every time they'd see Romney give a full speech, such as after he won the Iowa caucus and then after he won New Hampshire, different people would say to me at different times, wow, that was the best speech he's ever given. If he'd only give them like that all the time. And I'd say to them, he does. Watch him.
He does. He the thing that he had down, and we were just talking about this yesterday, that we didn't expect Barack Obama to do what Al Gore did in the debates. You remember what his problem was?
The heavy sighing?
Yeah.
That was great.
And Barack Obama did it, I think, not to the extent, but he kept looking down and he was frowning and shaking his head. Where Romney would look at the president, he addressed him in the eye, looked him in the eye the whole time. It's one thing to say something about somebody behind their back. It's another to look him in the eye and kindly say, Mr. President, you're wrong.
Yes.
And he did. And when Obama was trying to dish it, which was about 4 seconds, when he was trying to dish it, he wouldn't look Romney in the eye. He really wouldn't go after him and look him in the eye like a man.
Yes.
And I just think that spoke volumes.
Yes.
Volumes.
Yes, and I listened to most of the debate the first time it played, then I watched some of the replay. But listening to it, it was clear that Romney was killing. When you watched it, it was so much better, or even worse for Obama, and even better for Romney. The way Romney was just so cheerful and tall and strong and presidential. I mean, Obama looks like a guy who has grown, who's lost so much weight he's wearing a suit that's too big for him. He looks anemic. I seriously am wondering whether he's trying to communicate to us that he doesn't want this job anymore.
Okay, may I play a piece of audio? I got this from the Weekly Standard, and I think this is very telling. And see what you have it, Pat, the last piece. The last piece, we were just playing it, in the break.
Oh, the Obama closing?
Yeah, the Obama closing. Listen to this and see if anything stands out to you in this. I think when he says channeled and everybody gets their fair share, it speaks volumes. Listen to this.
Thank you. And I want to thank Governor Romney, because I think this was a terrific debate, and I very much appreciate it.
He thinks the economy is doing well, too. So
I appreciate it. He's getting his ass kicked, too.
All those things are designed to make sure that the American people, their genius, their grit, their determination, is channeled, and they have an opportunity to succeed. And everybody's getting a fair shot, and everybody's getting a fair share. Everybody's doing a fair share, and everybody's playing by the same rules.
What do you think of that, Ann?
Well, it's so untrue under his presidency, as I think Romney pointed out to him, that it was relatives and friends and donors to the Obama campaign that were getting all these massive grants for green companies that then went under. Another fantastic line, sorry, we'll get back to what you think the point was. Another fantastic line was when Romney said about Solyndra and all these green companies that have lost, he said, one of my friends said, you don't just pick winners and losers, you pick all losers.
Oh, it was great.
That was good. And
it was
with
good.
A smile. But sorry, go back.
No. I've got a whole show to do that. I just wanted to get your take, and I do want to, because we only have about 4 minutes left or 3 minutes left. I want to talk a little bit about the book, because I think you are. We're about to see an absolute full frontal assault on the senses of the American people. I think they're just going to unleash now because their candidate's going to be in trouble. What do you think is coming?
I'm hoping the mere concept of my book is preventing some of the racial demagoguery I was expecting we would get. The post-debate commentary on MSNBC last night was funny, and you had to watch. It was like watching the O.J. Slow speed chase, because I was waiting for one of them to commit suicide live on air. But their big thing was, well, Romney was lying. He was lying. We have a study here from the American Progress Center, and they say, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. George Soros is online, too. He's saying we have to get this information out.
But I have been anticipating, and the reason I wrote the book, that there would be a lot of racial mau-mauing again, trying to guilt Americans into re-electing the first half-black president. And I don't know, maybe they'll give up on that now. I must say, and I hate to even mention it because it sounds like conservative paranoia, but it is simply a fact that no book of mine has been so ignored, completely ignored. I mean, not even attacking me when I'm not there, as this book. The mainstream media does not want anyone to know this book exists. The New York Times is lying about its ranking. They do not want people to think about, are we only voting for Obama because he's black?
Look, I think I've had 7 New York Times #1 bestsellers. And SoundScan, I think we've had BookScan, we've had 10 or 11?
11.
Yeah,
11.
Yeah.
So I've just stopped saying New York Times bestseller. We're not printing it on our books anymore. It's time for that to go away, because it's ridiculous, the credit that is given to that, because we win.
It used to be the gold standard, but it isn't.
It's
anymore.
not
it's like the Pulitzer Prize.
It's exactly right. It's exactly right. Ann, I didn't realize that and now that you say it, because I've seen you on television talking about it, but you're exactly right. They haven't come after you with absolutely everything. But I will tell you that I think there's a possibility that that's happening, because maybe they know that it doesn't work. They have overplayed their hand on every front, that maybe somebody's waking up and going, geez, this doesn't work anymore.
Yeah. Their defense of the most left-wing and incompetent president the nation has ever seen, based on his race, may be the equivalent of the O.J. verdict, where white people just say, no, that's it, we're not doing it this time.
Ann Coulter, author of the new book, Mugged. Grab it, read it, important book, and Ann is one of the best voices out there, and give her credit, one who was probably, I think you were probably alone there for a long time on the real conservative front, saying, Mitt Romney.
Yes, and I'd like to point out, right-wingers always trust Ann.
Ann Coulter, thank you very much. We'll talk to you again.
We'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.